Welcome into Crystal Ball College Football. I'm your host, Grayson, and we are wrapping up the week with my best bets of the weekend. So let's start with the first matchup on my list, and that's Georgia Southern against UAB. Georgia Southern won at Nebraska this past weekend. UAB lost to Liberty at Liberty 21-14. Currently, the spread is UAB is an 11.5 point favorite. What? 11.5 point favorites after Georgia Southern just went to Nebraska and came away with a win? Ooh. Whew. The over-under is 54.5, but I think this is a very, very juicy pick here. I know Georgia Southern could be due for a letdown, but I really think they felt like they were going to go beat Nebraska this past weekend. I don't think they view that as some major upset. And so now I think they're going to go to UAB. I think they're going to beat UAB, but it doesn't matter if they beat them. They just got to keep it within 11.5. I think this is a slam dunk. Georgia Southern going to get it done this weekend for you if you decide to bet it. I really like them to cover against UAB on the road. Next matchup up, Texas Tech travels to NC State. NC State is a 10.5 point favorite. The over-under currently sits at 55.5. Tech just beat Houston in double overtime 33-30. NC State knocked off Charleston Southern 55-3. I like NC State here. I think NC State's going to have one of those figured out weeks. It's at home. Tech hasn't played on the road yet. They have a backup quarterback. I just think Tech might turn the ball over a little bit too much, get a little too cute with the football. I think NC State's defensive line is going to win the day in this one. So I like NC State to cover that 10.5 point spread. Next game up, Miami travels to College Station to take on Texas A&M. Texas A&M is a 5.5 point favorite. The over-under is 45 points. Miami is coming off of a win over Southern Miss, 30-7. Texas A&M lost to Appalachian State at home, 17-14. I think this is a good spot to bet Miami, to be honest. I think everyone's looking at this game going, no way A&M loses 2 in a row in College Station. There's no way that happens. But I'm just looking at what happened to them. You know, they didn't look very good. They got outplayed, and now they're facing a Miami team that doesn't look amazing, but they look pretty good. Their defense has played well. Tyler Van Dyke, we know, is a very good quarterback, and they're getting 5.5 points. Yeah, I'll take Miami this weekend. I think Miami will find a way to win this game, but I also think 5.5 points for the team that I think is going to win, that's a pretty good bet. Next on the list, Tulane travels to Manhattan to take on Kansas State. Kansas State's a 15-point favorite. The over-under is 48 points. I'm pretty confused on this one. So Tulane has played UMass and Alcorn State, and they've outscored them 94-10. They've looked really good. UMass and Alcorn State are terrible football teams. Kansas State, meanwhile, beat South Dakota 34-0. Beat Missouri 40-12. Both of those teams would beat either team on Tulane's schedule. And now you're only giving Kansas State 15 points? Come on. Kansas State's going to cover this. Kansas State's going to blow out Tulane. I'd be surprised if it's within 20 points. I really think K-State's just the better football team. I think there's a lot of giving too much credit to Tulane for playing two really bad football teams and coming away with wins in games they should have won. I like Kansas State here. I think they get the job done. Final game of the week. Purdue travels to Syracuse. Currently, the pick is actually Purdue -1. It was even, but I like this even more now. So Purdue's a 1-point favorite. The over-under is 58.5. Syracuse has a win at UConn and the win against Louisville. They beat Louisville 31-7, the same Louisville team that beat UCF this past weekend. Purdue, on the other hand, has the close loss to Penn State, and then they trounced Indiana State 56-0. I'm confused why Purdue's the favorite here. They're going on the road. The last time Syracuse played in the Carrier Dome, they destroyed Louisville, and now we're just expecting Purdue to stroll in there and come out with a win. I'm not seeing it. I think Syracuse wins this game, so I'll take Syracuse +1. That's the spread currently. I think the Orange are actually kind of sneaky for real this year. They've looked really good in their first 2 games. Purdue looks good, but I still see some serious flaws in the Boilermakers offense and defense. So I'm going to take the Orange to cover in that one. So that's it. those are my picks this week. Those are my 5 best bets going into the weekend. And that's it for Crystal Ball College Football this week. But thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in, and enjoy this football weekend.